Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. As I said before, we are slowly snaking through um all of the things I told y'all I was gonna cover. So here we are with the matchmaking event and speed dating event and young men, men in general, not attempting to date women. Um, yeah. So Chief Rocka knows Z did not forget about you. Buckeye fan knows Z did not forget about you. Compassionate knows Z did not forget about you. As I said, so this is two. Um, I think I have something that I was supposed to do for Kareen also. So this is what number 2 out of 6. Yeah. So we're making our way through, everyone. We're making our way through. We're slowly going through it. So yeah. All right. Um, let's address this. So we hear the women with the 4B movement. We hear the women speaking about their horrible dating experiences. We hear the women speaking about how they're just going to abstain from dating, how it's pointless, how is essentially why should they? Why should they engage? Why should they entertain men? Men don't want to develop personality, as Leisure Miller said, especially conservative men. They're not likable, which is fascinating hearing. Z, leave that, put that right back on the table. All right. Um, young men aren't likable, particularly conservative men. Um, and they haven't developed a personality. They refuse to develop a personality, and they have these very archaic views of masculinity and manhood, um, and their role and women's role. Um, yeah, and we hear this over and over and over again. And outside of like man talk, podcast bros, manosphere type of talk, black manosphere type of talk, for the most part, men aren't saying much. They're just acting. And that's their response. And what is that act? That act is to abstain, right? That act is to not show up at speed dating events, at matchmaking events, at mixers. That act is to not show up at the club. By the way, well, let's say 7. So we're at 2 out of 7 because I really want to cover the men not showing up at clubs also, and what happened to nightlife and what happened to clubs. Women happened to clubs. That's what happened. But much of that is going to be similar to this, so we'll see. We'll see at the end of this whether I still want to cover that. What happened to the nightlife? What happened to clubs? What happened to the young people dancing and whatnot? And it's still happening, but not really, huh? Dr. Richard Reeve spoke about the broken glass. It's a lot of people that took for granted a particular way of viewing relationships and men and women and sex and intimacy, and y'all took it for granted. And then y'all changed the landscape, y'all changed the rules of engagement, and now you don't like what that looks like because y'all don't have a holistic view. And y'all give you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. My apologies, y'all. Reckless streams. Y'all already know how this goes. Um, and we're back. We're back. My apologies for that, everyone. And you know, exactly. Oh, that L's exactly. And L says a commenter on Abba and Preach vid said rejection is free. Why pay for it? I read that. Yeah, I read it. I read it too. Yep. Yep. So as I was saying before, you hear from the women how insufferable apparently men are, right? Men don't get it. Men don't appreciate the new normal. And the women have so thoroughly destroyed the environment, the dating scene, the landscape, the men and women matchmaking, the dance between men and women, right? They just have so thoroughly destroyed it. Y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves because I'm going through a dead zone. That's why. Y'all gives you a second. And we're back. But yeah, the women have so thoroughly destroyed the environment. They don't even appreciate how much they have. The women don't appreciate women in America in the West don't really appreciate this one foot in patriarchy, this one foot in feminism, patriarchy by feminist specifications, partnership patriarchy, and them attempting, and they're really trying to reframe what that is, call it something else, assortative mating, right? Equally yoked, right? Similarly situated, right? I want someone with aspirations. I want somebody ambitious. All of that talk for I want somebody with some money and some status. Huh? I want someone who enjoys who is a beneficiary of patriarchy so much that they as an individual may not necessarily be that patriarchal. That's where kidology comes in with the reason why women of color are chasing after white men. She didn't say it, but that's what she said. Huh? The white men around planet Earth are the beneficiaries of white patriarchy, and the white male patriarchy is so kick-ass that individual white men don't necessarily have to be that patriarchal because the white male patriarchy is so bolstered, it's so reinforced that individual white men could come all the way around into entertaining, kind of gender bending and performing differently because it's not a threat to their masculinity because, well, white male patriarchy has so thoroughly crushed everyone else. See, what does that have to do with the matchmaking? The young lady that said that she went to the Kendra G matchmaking event. She tried to meet Kendra. She wasn't necessarily going there for her, but she was walking by and then she wanted to see Kendra. Kendra wasn't there, but some man in a Bentley truck, Bentley Bentayga, madam, some man in a Bentley truck pulled up and all the women's eyes went right to the Bentley truck. Huh? And even the young lady, black young woman too, said this is what the men are talking about. Well, she didn't say this is what the men are talking about, but this is what you see. This is what you see on Kendra. Why would men, especially young men, why would they sign up for that? Why would the young men sign up for a speed dating event where there's maybe 50 women, 50 men, 20 women, 20 men, 100 men, 100 women, something along those lines? And yet the women are huddled up about on like 15 men. Really, it's about 10 or 15 men, maybe, possibly 20 men getting pretty much all the attention. Or those are the men that all the women really want to end up with. Why would the men sign up for that? Why would young men sign up for that? Huh? And so, yeah, the young men aren't attending these speed dating events and these matchmaking events and these mixers. Huh? Why? You know, there was a lot to be said here. I'll put a lot of links. A lot of the links, obviously, just about all of them, um, are have their own commentary with them, and that's okay. Mr. Z is gonna come at this a little different. First of all, the young lady with the pixie cut is cute as hell. Um, the one in LA, number one. Number two, the brother, the Jamaican British brother, older. Um, I've been checking out his channel for a little while now. Forgot his name. But he was responding to the young lady who set up the matchmaking event and said, y'all need to come through, y'all need to, show up." And then the second part where she says, she got so much response to angry black men who, you know, essentially angry, bitter black men. And, she said she never dated a white guy and yeah, don't y'all want to hang with us? We just want to hang with y'all. We don't need y'all little money anyway. And all of that sounds, no, not King Riches, not King Riches, right? Um, but yeah, so, and to that young lady, I say, y'all don't really appreciate how many of you ladies have been speaking and how. No, he said the actual channel is Ask an Older Man. That's the channel I'm speaking about, you guys. Um, and going back to what I was saying, many of you ladies don't really appreciate the way you've been speaking for decades and the type of rhetoric you condone coming from your homegirls. So even if it's not you, the type of language you condone and you encourage when y'all on brunch together, right? It's fascinating as a black man in particular, looking at black women speaking about black men not showing up to speed dating events when black women know how they speak about black men, how they speak to black men. All of these things are interconnected. It's fascinating watching people who really don't think, yo, black men ain't ish, calling black men sperm donors, calling black men losers, calling black men dusties, comparing black men to non-black men, white men in particular, and deeming black men lacking. And you don't appreciate why these young black men aren't showing to speed dating events, calling black men mama's boys, and all different type of insanity, huh? That a lot of black women either turned a blind eye to when other black women engage in it, they condone it, they encourage it, they do the. I understand, like, she got her heart broken, so her sounded like a neo-Nazi. It's okay because one black man played her, and that's if we even agree that a black young man played her, huh? Black women calling black men, what was the other one, thirsty for a black man that might be interested in her. All different type of language. Black women who adopted this Me Too, um, street harassment campaign thing, huh? And yet, all you hear are black women who are going to these speed dating events, and no man showed up, or very few men showed up. I said it before, the Leisure Miller and Kim Fosters of the world, the Khadijas of the world, and not Khadija is a little different. She's a little different, but she thinks it's funny. Oh, the straights, the straights are in crisis. Uh-huh. A lot of these people think this is funny. They don't really appreciate the societal decline because men and women aren't coupling up, getting married, and having children. They think there's another way. We'll see, huh? We'll see, right? I keep on saying these people are your class enemy because they're still coupling up. They're still getting married. Not so much Khadijah once again, but the Kim Fosters and Alicia Miller, like for real. Alicia Miller is engaged right now, if I'm not mistaken. Kim Foster, now her relationship is working on what, 2 years, give or take? Right? Exactly. And Trell says, the dire straits. I see you, Trell. I see you with the puns. I see you. right? Or double entendre, better yet, I should say. Yeah, the double entendre, right? And there's a cost to that, right? So let's go through some things. Men looking to date has gone down by 50% since 2019. So I know y'all saw that clip, the dating crisis that Phil from the Advice Show covered, and he was listening into that. I want to say she was a white woman. She could have been Latina speaking. She could have been Middle Eastern too. She kind of has a ambiguous type of look to her. But yeah, since 2019, 50% of men aren't looking to date. I guess that are single men, right? 50%. Excuse me, 45% of women between 20 and 45, so 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single and childless by 2040. So we know this data a little already. Shout out to all the women who think y'all are slick by being 28 and 29 and trying to date all the way up to a 42 and 43-year-old so that you could skip over the young men that are around your age. Huh? But that's the little trick, ain't it? You push all this feminist, anti-male crap that decimates the men of your similar age, and then your escape hatch is going to the older men that are already established. That's slick, huh? Right. So we already know Mr. Z's covered this often. Single and childless black women and single and childless Latina women have the least amount of wealth in America. 8 cents to white men's dollar for black women, 14 cents to white men's dollar for Latina women. Right. Wow. And Dut says, I don't know if you saw Z, but there are some black women who go to Afrotech trying to get a man, but are getting mad at brothers for not picking them. It's on TikTok. Put the link if you don't mind. But yeah, I heard of it. We actually had a bit of a conversation about that. Maybe a couple weeks ago now. Right? Huh. So these are stats that we already know, but it's good to emphasize them because of the way women are speaking and have been. Right? 17.7, so really 18% of women are on antidepressant pills. Uh-oh. 24.3, so approaching almost 25%, so we could say 25, but 24.3% of women over the age of 60 are on antidepressant pills. Shout out to Vivica A. Fox. Huh? 20% of women between the ages of 40 to 59 are on antidepressants. Most of those women are single. Huh? So while we have all of these pundits on news, the Simone Sanders of the world, while we have all of these social media content creators and commentators, women who are mocking the men, insulting the men are in crisis, the women are perfectly okay. The women are practically asexual. The women are enjoying their single life, right? The women are good. The women are they're enjoying their single life. They're doing brunch with each other while they munch on each other. Ooh, goddamn Z, huh? They're going on cruises as they cruise on each other. Goddamn Z. Y'all saw those clips with those black women that tell you women be getting it in secret, huh? Supposed heterosexual women. One friend been crushing on the other one for the longest, trying to flirt with her. Then the other friend's like, "Wait a minute, whoa, 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 huh? Uh oh." Remember, black men, you're the one secretly on the DL. Remember, dear black men, remember, you're the one secretly on the DL. Now we got more and more women, black women, exposing that they going on these cruises and stuff, and you think your girl just sharing the one room with the other one? Nope, they doing way more than sharing rooms, sharing bodily fluids. Goddamn, huh? So this is why we have this crisis. A lot of women, the Chrissies of the world, who are telling these women that what did she say again? I tell average and below average looking black women that if you can't date hypergamously, it's better to be alone. And she doubled down by saying, I don't care. I don't care. Then she tells them the men aren't doing right by them. Ain't no point in having their kids. Oh, we in eugenics world now. Big Mo said brunch and munch, right? And y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? And we're back. So, and y'all already know reckless streams, reckless tax and effect. ZB out here, reckless like a bug. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and continuing. I knew I should have started this stream earlier. Um, I'll, one day we'll that might be the one video I actually delete. But for those of you that'll be there for the live, I'll explain how Z gets to be reckless and reiterate like, how do you say that? What needs to be done is getting done, but it's magic. I'll play with y'all. Yeah, 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 yeah. We'll get to it one day. We'll get to it one day, right? Yeah. Um, but yeah, so I want to emphasize that our society, the black community in particular, is raising a bunch of insufferable, mean, condescending, rude women, and some that aren't, but that condone the effery. So once again, tacit agreement with the effery. Um, at the best, tacit agreement with the effery, and then turn around and then have these issues, right? Trail, you actually made a comment to that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that. Someone, I want to say it was Trail that made a comment speaking exactly to what I'm saying. Let me see if I can find. I should have read it when I saw it. Jesus. Okay, that's what I get. That's what I get. Y'all gives you 1 second. This is one, and Trail says the weird dichotomy of expecting traditional masculinity while being independent. That was one, right? From Africa I came says, I've been dating a lot the past 2 years. These women have zero personality, like zombies looking for status. Shout out to Leisure Miller, huh? From Africa I came. Leisure Miller would say, you, even though you're more of a progressive brother, but it's really that you're the one who lacks personality and you're the one who's not likable, huh? Huh? Yeah. Give me a second, y'all. I'm still trying to look for that damn trail comment. Give me a second. Passport OG says Bentley truck equal good black man, so rent Bentley truck. I'm saying. Lion says I've been to these events. Plot twist: the women are average as hell. Yeah, we know, we know. Trell says Trell be hating. I'll be putting like 80 links, and Trell says a lot of links. What an understatement, right? Newberian says Men are never supposed to look lustful, man. This was the comment I was looking for, actually. But yeah, a Nubarian, yeah, because you look lustful. You imagine as a man, we know what we like. Some of us like them a little heavier. We call them thick, but they really don't be. They be heavy. We just trying to be nice. Some of us like them a little slim. Some of us like them slim thick, right? Some of us like them a little short. Some of us like them a little tall. Some of us are like what race murder, where we don't really race Sherman. I said race murder, my bad. Race Sherman, where we don't have no type. Um, but in reality, you looking lustfully at a woman who you find attractive is now called thirsty and makes her feel uncomfortable because you might not be Himothy. And then those same women sometimes then go and attend speed dating events where the men don't show up, and the men that do show up are spoiled for choice. That's the ones that's being chosen. And these women feel like they're being crowded out. Oh, it's the funniest thing in the world. And Trell says the cognitive dissonance, the cognitive dissonance, living the nascent Negroes ain't-ish industrial complex credo, but still expecting black men to show up and show out. I know you meant to say show out. Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with, right? That's what we're dealing with. Link after link after link, and some of those links have a same video, because many of them are collage, or multiple of these kind of clips. But link after link, it's the same thing. The women are at the speed dating events. Some of them are recording themselves at the speed dating events. Some of them are recording themselves after the speed dating events. Some of them are recording themselves speaking about how the men didn't show up to the speed dating events. They're all saying the same thing. Why aren't y'all showing up? Why aren't y'all coming to speed dating events? I knew the men wouldn't show up, but none of y'all showed up, or like very few. Why? As whoever it was that said in Abba Preach comments, I could get rejected for free. Why would I pay for it? The women really lack sympathy for men's position. Women really, really, it's as if they are incapable. I'm not saying they are. I think they're full of crap and lazy. It's as if they are incapable of even entertaining men's perspective and how we got to that perspective. See, on Z's channel, we speak about the landscape. I'm not giving the women any passes, but we'll explain and we'll go through SBE, shame, blame, and explain. We'll go through some of why the women are acting the way they are, their anger, their rage, their resentment, because once again, for black women and women of color, they're not upper middle class and rich white women, and we'll go over it in detail. As a matter of fact, a couple of my streams that I need to do, the 5 that are left, it's going to grow to 10 soon, probably, but one of them is about the Paul memo. And we're going to link that to neoliberalism and then speak about the environment. Are the ladies doing that? No. Are the ladies being honest that what we've transformed this dating, mating, marriage landscape to is an elite institution for marriage? So marriage has become an elite institution, number one. Number two, the women never gave up on patriarchy. They just put the bar to the moon. Number three, what feminism did was defang your average man and give your elite men all the power and all the desirability. Uh-oh. Are the women having that conversation? No. Huh? Wow. So that's the difference. We speak about how we got here, where the future, well, what the future looks like, at least from our vantage point. The ladies, on the other hand, a whole lot of complaining, and being obtuse and for those elites. The Kim Fosters know what's going on. By the way, the Khadijas know. The FD know. They ain't gonna go into it though. Ain't nobody really want to be honest what's going on and tell the women, oh, this is the new normal. See, the women are saying this is the new normal because they think they have far more leverage and power than they actually have. But even on that side, the FD, Kim Foster, Khadijah, Conscious Lee side, you know how we know that these people know better? That Professor Odie clip from a few months ago where he went into withering detail about essentially these women are full of crap. Now, he didn't say that, but he knows what it is. Huh? That's a really good comment. And Trail says women are all tense, so the lack of desirability conversation is unnecessary. Oh, say that. That's exactly how they think. Huh, wrong word, Z. That's exactly how they feel. Huh? Pastor OG says, why don't men want to spend money in my aura? I don't get it. Just be in my aura to be in my presence. Right? And Big Mo, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Big Mo says, no pasta and lobster. It's now brunch and munch after Trump won. Say that. And remember, a lot of these clips are way before Trump won this election. A lot of these clips are a year old, 5, 6 months old, 3 months old. Huh? This has been the landscape for a little while now. I think COVID just accelerated the inevitable. All COVID-19 did was accelerate where we were going anyway. This is the new normal, and I think there's the JD Vance types that are attempting to kind of turn the tide. But I want to be very clear. Many conservatives and many liberals especially the progressives, were never going to tell the ladies anything. Y'all heard me say it to FD. And I'm, paraphrasing what I said. Y'all were going to defang the men and say nothing to the women as the women throw a fit and sit on their vagina, sit on their hands. Oh, there's a pun in there, right? And throw a temper tantrum about what they're not getting and who they're not going to settle for. Y'all would never, and as a matter of fact, y'all were going to give the women the language. No, the problem is it's because your boyfriend, your husband, and the men around you, they're not likable, right? And they don't want to do chores around the house, right? And they want to deal with the new normal, and they want to be patriarchs, but they can't afford to be patriarchs. Isn't that the issue? That's what y'all were gonna do. Y'all were never gonna tell the ladies, hey, by the way, we sound hypocritical out here, right? Huh? And thank you, Leon, for reminding us about that clip with T Noir and FD Signifier. That lets you know they know. That's why y'all always hear Z say these are these women's class enemy. These women are full of crap. That side over there is full of crap because they know ain't nobody saying nothing to the ladies. Meanwhile, they come over here to black men writ large, to the black manosphere specifically, and badger us about how we're sexist and we're misogynist. And then your daughters are out here going to these speed dating events and matchmaking events, and young men aren't showing up. I wonder why. Your girl cousins and them are showing up to these dating events, matchmaking events, mixer events, and the young men aren't showing up. I wonder why. The women are actually starting to complain. Y'all should have never let that street harassment campaign get off the ground. They're actually complaining that they're walking from point A to point B in Chicago, in New York, in DC, the places with actually good, or air quotes, good enough public transportation. And the men are not saying anything. They catch the men looking, but the men aren't saying anything. Shout out to you ladies. Do y'all really not like that type of awareness? There's no, y'all got to be being obtuse. It's, to be frank with you, when Z says, I don't know which one is worse. Oh, no, there's definitely one that's worse here. Pretending is actually better than if y'all really don't know. There's no way y'all really don't appreciate street harassment. Well, actually, it's more than 5. Let's say 10 years later, right? 11 and 10 years later, after the street harassment campaign, now we're in the era where attractive women are walking from point A to point B, and the young men aren't attempting to talk to them or chat them up or court them or anything. Y'all can't be that obtuse that y'all don't appreciate that that's how we got here. Actually, Indigo, that's a perfect comment. Indigo Flow says, weaponized incompetence, right? Girl, shut the hell up, right? It got to be, as a matter of fact, that's really what we're speaking about. This is like weaponized incompetence. This is, a big obtuse and pretending like you don't get it, right? So, to what Big Mo is saying, yeah, I mean, I would argue as the landscape changes and if a JD Vance can get white men hooked up with white women more, I don't know how many white men are going to entertain black women. I think some will. Attractive black women are attractive, so there's going to be white men that still try to get with black women that they find attractive and marries them, and But what happens when white men and white women start to couple up more? What does that mean for white men and Asian women? What does that mean for white men and black women? Huh? It's a real question for black women and Asian women and Latina women. Huh? It's a real question. And that munch thing, we already know that black women are the most same-sex loving group of people in America by a bit of a distance too. And I would argue that comes with negative liberty and a market mindset. We already know black women are munching on each other. That's the most open kept secret in the black community. Shout out to all of us Xers and millennials and boomers. Gen Z, y'all weren't here yet. That grew up or that were adults in the 90s and listening to all these women speak about the secretly on the DL men, black men, because Terry McMillan got caught up with the most sassiest Jamaican you ever met in your life. And so instead of Terry McMillan and by extension black women taking that public L because they gave black ADOS FBA men the middle finger and then went to the Caribbean to go find them a Dexter St. Jacques. And Dexter St. Jacques like, oh, wait a minute, Z. Huh? It's a word that rhymes with Jacques, but you know. And so instead of black women taking that public L, black American women and Americanized women taking that public L, now it's black men are secretly on the DL. Down low for those of you that don't get it, which is essentially them saying black men are secretly gay. A bunch of black men are secretly gay. Actually, what the numbers are telling us is that black women are really the ones that's out here with the same sex loving thing. Huh? If we're going to be honest, it's really black women that's out here touching and feeling and kissing and with each other because they made themselves insufferable to everyone else except for each other. And if we're going to be honest, y'all are even insufferable to yourselves, but y'all all y'all got. Shout out to I've seen about two memes now. I was gonna say all of them, but I've only seen two different type of memes with the women sitting on the rooftop of some building looking like it's a major city, Chicago, New York, as the city burns and the women are sipping their coffee. The insanity. All this weirdo empowerment talk from black women in particular, it's always fascinating. First of all, let's analyze those pictures. The city is burning and you decide to go on the rooftop of a building in the city. What? Let's analyze those pictures. You didn't go into the burbs or you didn't run out the city or no. Y'all decide to what? Watch the sit in the sunlight and watch the city burn while you sip on your coffee. because what's happening to everyone else is not going to have no effect on you, black women. Who, wait a minute, didn't black women always beat up on black men with the Malcolm X quote about how they're the least protected? So the least protected group of women, oh, y'all say, sorry, people, the most disrespected, least protected group of people, women, decided to go on the rooftop of a building in Chicago or New York, a tall ass building too, 20 something, 30 something story building, and sit on the rooftop on a corner watching the city burn, as if that's not going to have an effect on them. Wow. Jay, that's really, when Jay says least corrected, say that. Even Zora Neale Hurston said that, and that's a black woman. Huh? Yeah, that's it. And once again, Big Mo, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, the city is burning, and black women are just gonna watch it burn because they're not gonna be the most affected. Goddamn, Z. Say it again with me now. Single, childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America, but yet black women are gonna be sitting on the corner at their 92%. Because I seen the meme with a sister who has the shirt that says 92%. So black women are gonna be sitting on the rooftop of a building as the city burns, and they're gonna be perfectly okay. So I guess some black women is gonna literally helicopter in and get these women off the rooftop as the city burns, so that way they're not affected. This weirdo empowerment talk, man. Y'all, once again, and then you wonder why the men aren't showing up to these speed dating events, dear black women in specific. Why would we show up? Hey, look, I don't know about y'all. I know I can't look God in the eye. I know I can't do nothing for God, right? I can't do nothing for God. So y'all over here walking around like y'all gods, y'all are literally calling yourself goddesses, huh? Divine feminine and all this other foolishness. So why do y'all need the men to show up at the speed dating events? To entertain you? Like Preach was saying? To put on our clown costume and entertain you? To worship you? To grovel? To beg? Huh? So you can rack up numbers, IGs, huh? Because look, I don't think I could, if God was a female entity, I don't think I could date God. What could I do for God? So it's a whole lot of goddesses and divine feminine who are complaining and recording themselves in their cars. I don't know why they got cars, couldn't they fly? But anyway, about how the men aren't showing up to these speed dating events. Once again, do you want us to show up so that we can diddle your ego? So we could kiss your ass and munch on you? Don't you have a girlfriend for that? Goddamn Z. Huh? What? Why is there a need or a want, and why are the women complaining, black women in particular, complaining about these men not showing up at the speed dating events? Maybe the men are tired of wearing the clown costume for your entertainment. Huh? And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. KMS says, LOL. Young men are turning into Cordell Jessup of A Few Good Men. Okay, you gonna have to ask me nicely. Yeah, I saw the clip. Did I link it? I don't know if I linked it. I'm gonna link it for you, KMS. I'm gonna link it in the description box for that stream, for that panel discussion. And yeah. And policy aside, no man is signing up to suffer an a-hole who needs him to be there. Huh? The women said they'd rather die than ask nicely. Black women in particular said they would rather die than ask nicely. Well, then die then. Ooh, goddamn, see. If you are a subscriber or a follower of Chrissy, and she says I tell single and I tell I tell average and below average looking black women that if you can't date hypergamously, it's better to be alone. If you subscribe to that, then be alone. Be alone. And don't be surprised when the men don't show up at speed dating events. Because many of the kick-ass men already got women. Many of them have too many women. So they're not gonna show up. And the brothers and men writ large, the white men are not showing up to black speeding events in any real number. The Latino men, maybe a little bit more. And your average black man there's nothing wrong with him. He's not going to keep on going to these 7 and 8 and 10 and 12 times. You got him maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, and he's done. Once again, I could be rejected for free. Why would I pay for it? Huh? No, ladies, you and your antidepressant pills and your homegirls that go to brunch and then munch, or you and your homegirls that go to brunch and then munch and then you end up calling um your male coworker that's 15 years younger than you to come knock the cobwebs out because the kids are at their dad's house this weekend. Ooh, goddamn, Z. Ooh, Z. How do you know this, Z? Someone tells Z he's lying. Uh-oh. Dear black women, I don't know why you think black men don't know. Y'all keep on doing that. Keep doing that. Huh? A lot of these people are being obtuse. They're acting. It's an act. It's an act. They know why these young men are not showing up to the speed dating event. They're just pretending like they don't know. They're being coy. They know why. These young men aren't going to show up to these speed dating events. And you can attempt to shame them as much as you want. As Cam has said, if you ain't going to talk to them nice, right? Now, the young lady that asked an old man that he covered, initially she was asking nicely, but when the brothers told her why, she got a little indignant, right? She got a little indignant. But the brothers told you why. And your first thought, at least from what we saw, you record yourself saying, is that they don't like black women. No, they're telling you why they're not showing up to that event. Now you can sit with that and ponder and think about it and pontificate but your knee-jerk reaction is that they either hate black women or no. Sit with what they say. They're telling you that their relationships or their dating situation or their experiences matchmaking and doing these singles mixers and speed dating has been so bad they're not going to another one. It's crazy that women will, especially in the black community, women will tell you how they don't get along with other women. They'll tell you how they don't like female bosses. They'll tell you how mean other women are, how rude they are, how underhanded they are. They'll speak about this ad nauseum. And because they're so myopic, they never expand that out to be like, well, if my boss is like that and my frenemy is like this to me and with me, how is she with men? No wonder she's been divorced twice. Huh? No wonder she can't keep a man. How is she with men? Huh? Wow. Calvin, I ain't gonna answer that. Right? I'm just saying. Vincent there on the roof waiting for Carmen San Diego. Hysterical. Bentley says Joe Bentley says arms too short to box with God, right? To slap box with God, exactly. Arms too short to slap box with God, exactly. Shout out to Nas. Huh? Thank you, Indigo. You hate women, and that's women to men. And it's like, no, you hate women. And women really do. Women know women just like men know men. Women know what they're really telling you. And shout out to the professor that was on Black Girls Texting podcast. She like was getting real close to saying like it's black women's right. And I actually kind of agree with her. It's black women's right to have productive black men. I appreciate, like, for those of you that hear how Z is saying it, understand what she's saying. Once again, leftist. So what she's saying is it's not fair and not right that this society has so handicapped men. I don't really agree with that framing, but I get where she's going. That it puts black women in this weird position to either be single or alone, date and marry out, or do the same sex loving thing. Right? Or fight for the handful of quote unquote elite black men who are on, this professor's level. Once again, I don't necessarily 100% agree with the framing, but I understand what she's trying to get at. Right? And what you have is a number of women who weaponize women against men, a number of women who weaponize other women against men. Huh? And then the outcome, there's a pun in there somewhere. These women throw their hands up and act obtuse like they don't know what's going on. And when the men show some apprehension, and when the men, as KMS says here, say, talk to me nice, that's what the women say. Here you go, nosy, you do not have a right. Right? You see how I link that together? Magic. Huh? The men are telling the women, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. And if you don't, then that's okay. And dear ladies, you don't have to do anything Z is saying. You don't have to do anything the Black Manosphere is talking about. You don't have to be kind. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to be pleasant. You don't have to be accommodating. Dear Black women, you can be as mean and rude and snarky and unwarranted sassy as you want. You could be that. But there are consequences to that. Eat the consequences. Some of eating the consequences is eating your best friend. Goddamn, Z. Y'all should have saw that. Y'all should have saw that coming. Huh? Some of the consequences are you ending up with another woman talking about, love is love. You can't help who you love. Huh? So B. Taylor could say this little anti-black misandrist thing's all she want. Wasn't she the one who said that crazy thing? I can't remember what she said on Lapeef's network that everybody started clipping out and playing. Did she say something crazy on Lapeef's channel? Some anti-black borderline neo-Nazi thing? 1 year later, 1 year later, you out here with Princella. Huh? So we're not making it up, the brunch and munch. We're not. As a matter of fact, for those of you, if you don't mind, um, we'll talk about it. Y'all know Z. Y'all send me the links because I saw them and I didn't say Z. You got to really get better at this. The links where the sisters are talking about their homegirls that try to flirt with them, or how many black women are engaging in these kind of same sex loving situations in secret. Huh? Oh boy. And once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. There's a cost to this. What you have is a number of black women, women writ large, number of black women who are insufferable and mean, and they got to eat the consequences of being insufferable and mean, being gossipy, being mean, being rude, being sassy, not being present, huh? Waging their jihad, shihad against black men, against men writ large. Your insane break the knob concepts of hypergamy. And then now it's time to deal with the consequences. And the consequences are men not showing up to speed dating events, men not showing up to matchmaking events, men not showing up to mixers, the death of the nightlife. And a lot of the death of nightlife has to do with the economy and the money. The fact that the men are the one that buy drinks. Shout out to Jason Black when he covered the death of Valentine's Day. Yeah, because the men are the ones that buy the flowers and the chocolates and the big ass teddy bears. Huh? The cards and all of that. Well, when the men don't got the money like that, or the money get tight, or the economy turns upside down, guess who's not getting chocolates, candy, and flowers this year? Guess who's not getting the big ass teddy bears sent to their job this year? Oops. Huh? And that's what it is. And a split Jim says, and thank you for the super chat. Then they apologize at 60 when they lonely shout out to the Roger Report. Yeah, that young lady. I mean that older lady. The other clip we know of the sister that me and Charles were talking about that said, what did she say? You know who left their husband? I did. I left my husband because I got a promotion at a job. I did this. I did that. Right? He turned around and got married, and I'm racking bodies. And there's one man in my bed, and there's another man in my bed. Yeah. I don't think she was that young. The lady I'm speaking about was 60, but she looked like she was at least in her 50s. Huh? And then there's the women who, no matter what, they're gonna be obtuse. Maybe they'll give it up and admit that they messed up with one man, but they out here being single, trying to keep a straight face about it, but they're miserable. Shout out to you, Vivica A. Fox. Ooh, Nubarian, say that. And Nubarian says the attention floodgates made black women the monsters that they are. Huh? The attention floodgates. The attention floodgates. Say that. The attention floodgates. Huh? And you see that with a number of them on Kendra G when Kevin was alive. You see them on the whatever podcast whenever they have one or two black women. You see them on that was Vegas Live with Rolo whenever they have one or two black women. Huh? Fresh and Fit whenever they have one or two black women. They're delusional. Dear women, oh, this is gonna hurt like a mug. Just because you wish harder and harder, there's a pun in there. Just because you wish and you beg and you pray to God and you're begging and you're scraping and you're throwing a temper tantrum and you're angry at the world and you're beg God, please, I'll do anything for this lifestyle. I'll do anything, please, God, please. Because if y'all don't know, that's really a thing. I'm not joking. I'm not being not like for real. I'm not being hyperbolic here. These women really have lottery fantasy dreams that if they could just be in the same room with the well-off guy, they could get him. If they could just be in the same room, and this will change their life forever. And to a certain extent, it's true. If they could get him, if they could get him, first of all, if they could meet him and then get him, huh? If they could meet him and then get him, the likeliness of being the acquaintance of one of these guys is far and few between. First of all, and y'all don't know who has money and who doesn't. There's that part. But fine. The likeliness of you meeting these guys, particularly as a black woman, is far and few between. Then the likeliness of you getting a date from this guy more than just a pipe session. Then the likeliness of you turning that into a serious relationship and then that serious relationship into marriage. Oh boy. Huh? Let me actually read where we well, and L's active says, and I'm clicked off of it by mistake. L active says, how does freedom taste? I call it negative liberty because that's what it really is. How does that negative liberty taste? How does that negative liberty taste? You call black men mediocre, huh? You you talk about their swipe or whatever the hell she was saying. You call black men mediocre. You said their parents were okay with them bringing home C's and D's, huh? You ain't dating no bus driver, which is okay, understandable. You said in a condescending ass way, fine. Jason Black backed you up a little bit. Yes, Jason, I heard you. And guess what? Now you got a test tube baby, huh? There are consequences for that worldview. There are consequences for the way you speak to and about men. Ebony K. Williams, I would argue, is actually really attracted to black men. She went over there to go mess with the white man because she wanted to give black men the middle finger because the type of black man that she's interested in, we're not going to deal with her and her crap. So she thought she was going to go get her some super rich, square, lame ass white dude, and his sons were disrespecting her ass. They broke it off. He broke it off. They broke it off during COVID. She was talking about her dating woes. She brought Iyanla Vanzant on to have a conversation. Iyanla Vanzant cut right through the crap and asked her, would she date a bus driver? That was Iyanla Vanzant trying to get to the point. You are looking for a lifestyle. Okay, fine. You earn pretty significant money. You have some status. You ain't looking for love. You're looking for a lifestyle. Okay, fine. And Iyanla Vanzant, by asking that question, got right to that. You see a lot of women pretending like they don't get. That's what Iyanla Vanzant did when she asked that question. Why did she ask that question? Of course, Ebony wouldn't date a bus driver. That's what she's trying to prove. Ebony ain't looking for love. She's looking for a lifestyle. She's looking for a paymaster. That's what the white dude was for. Huh? Then Ebony comes back after. And by the way, for all of us that watched the conversation with Iyanla Vanzant and the brother, I think he's principal at one of the all boys schools. I forgot his name. And there was a number of black women in the comments. They were so angry with Iyanla Vanzant. Of course they were. Right? Of course they were. And it's always the white women aren't taught to settle. They hit Iyanla Vanzant with that. They hit Iyanla Vanzant with the white women aren't told to settle. Why are black women always told to settle? Huh? Of course. Then Ebony comes back and give her conversation, and she calls black men mediocre, and she tries to do the I. What did she say? Something like I could see better for black men, or I want better for black men, while she's insulting black men. But of course, and now she has the test tube baby. Well, unfortunately, for the vast majority of women writ large, black women specifically, y'all can't afford it. So what y'all gonna do is attempt to sperm jack a man. Have fun with that when the young men watches you tie this all back in. When the young men are not even showing up to speed dating events, matchmaking events, singles events. Say that. Mr. Shook to you says, only if he owns the test tube, Yonla. Only if he owns it. Hysterical. Huh? All of these clips, some of these women are okay looking. Some, very few of them were like, "Bleh." Even the white ones, the Latina, they all of them are, all right. Really, none of them should be single. These are average looking to kind of cute women. Some got way too much makeup, of course. For the black women, the weave, Jesus Christ. But I don't see many of these women that were hideous, really. Obviously, black women and the overweight, duh. But we know black men. Shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr., the garbage man of the dating scene. None of these women, for the most part, should be single. None of these women, for the most part, should even be going to speed dating events. One thing I gotta give Anton, shout out to, I disagree with Anton on so much, but I gotta give Anton Daniels this one thing. I gotta give him this. When he tells these women, your husband, you thought you were better than. You probably met your husband, and I'm paraphrasing, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Your husband was that friend in high school or in college. I'm paraphrasing, I'm adding extra. But whenever Anton goes there, and he says, your husband was that coworker, your husband, he's right. Dear ladies, he's right. That coworker that was flirting with you and you told everybody, no, we're just friends, but you knew he liked you and you kept him in the friend zone until he couldn't take it no more. Yeah, that was supposed to be your husband. Huh? That was supposed to be your husband. Now you out here. Goddamn, Z. Even River said that when her and Shay Sade and Danica Marie and Chantel Simone were having that conversation. Essentially, River was saying the same thing, like that your coworker, but you think you better than him. You waiting for the billionaire. Oh, and Lion says Kevin said that before he did. So Kevin said that before Anton? Okay, and then I'm Waffle says yes. Anton got that ish from Kevin. Okay, yeah. Okay, rest in peace, Kevin. Kevin's right. Kevin is right. And ladies, if you want to know why you're at the speed dating event, that's why you're at the speed dating event. Huh? That's why you're at the speed dating event. Because you think you're better than your coworker because you earn a little bit more than him, or you in a better position than him at work, or he doesn't earn enough. Anybody seen that clip? I know I asked for it before. Please, someone send it to me. The clip where the sister, she had glasses, black woman, um, said black men don't earn enough more, right? Yeah, black men earn more, but they don't earn enough more. Huh? Now you at the speed dating event looking sick. Now you're at the speed dating event looking sick, dear ladies. Oh, the saddest thing. You imagine going to a speed dating event, shout out to Lion, and there's black women there, and there's Asian women there, and there's Latina women there. White women, black women, Latina women, Asian, both South Asian, East Asian. Maybe none of them are super baddies, but none of them are necessarily exactly hideous either. In a generation or two ago, all these women would have been married. A generation or two ago, all of these women would have been married. Definitely 2 generations ago. God forbid 3 generations ago. All of these women would have been married. And if she 30 plus, definitely with a kid or 2 or 3. Huh? But the women got besides themselves and ain't nobody want to say it. Y'all keep on badgering the men. And y'all badger the men and then tell the men to shut up. Fine. The men won't show up to speed dating events. What Z been saying, what we all been saying, the indifference and the apathy will crush society. The men don't gotta sound like Z. Y'all can make fun of Z, y'all can make fun of the BGSs and the Charles of the world and all these people. Y'all can make fun of Ed, Obsidian. Y'all can make fun of all these brothers. Huh? We're the ones talking. Most men are not talking, they're just not showing up. Huh? Whoever that was in the comments for Abba and Preach, he said everything you needed to know. I could get rejected for free. Why would I pay for it? Dear ladies, sit with that comment. Sit with that comment for a little while. I think y'all have a. I think it's a American thing, particularly a woman thing in America, particularly a black woman thing. They really can't sit with like things will not magically get better. You got to make them better, and if you don't, they'll get worse. Like this, if you just let time pass, it eventually things will get better. That's not a guarantee. And so these women are eating the consequences of their own worldview, and they refuse to do anything, lift a finger to help change it. Huh? These men are showing you through action how they're responding to the misandrist environment. So Kim Foster could tell you there's no real thing as misandry. Misandry is not real. Imagine telling a working class black man, poor black men, working poor black men, that misandry ain't real and there's a Kim Foster on planet Earth. Huh? Imagine telling black men misandry is not real and Chrissy exists and divested zealot exists. Huh? And Lexus Exodus exists and Cynthia G exists. Imagine telling black men there's no misandry is not real. Anti-black misandry is not real. Huh? And then wonder why these young men aren't showing up to matchmaking and speed dating events. Right? And once again, a split gym, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And a split gym says, then they apologize at 60 when they lonely. Shout out to the Raj Report. That's all. Like I said, it's sad to Z, but once again, as the Roger Report says, you got to be held accountable for what you believe in. That lady's told you everything that she bought into and she believed. Yes, she was trying to um, garner sympathy and empathy for her perspective, but ma'am, you're living the consequences of what you believe. Just like the other lady that I was referencing earlier that told you why she left her and divorced her ex-husband. She thought she could do better. Well, she had to eat the consequences of what she believed. Like she told you, she was racking up bodies. Her ex-husband that moved on and got together with somebody else and got remarried. She's the one out here, a new man in her bed every other night. She told you that. She had to eat the consequences and deal with the consequences of what she believes. Huh? And you see this, right? Which one of the twins? Was it Tia or Tamara? Tamara, she got to eat the consequences. You divorced your husband. Now you out here going on dates with the brother that put the damn gold teeth on the table before he eat. You got to eat the consequences. Tia, thank you, Tro. Tia out here looking sick, huh? Ebony K. Williams, test tube baby, looking sick. Got to eat the consequences. Maya, single as a loose leaf paper. Told sick to Shaka, what, 20 years ago? Over 20 years ago. I'm moving on. Welp. Huh? A lot of these women looking sick. So many of these ladies, Vivica A. Fox told you you gotta let a man be a man 20 years after her and 50. Yeah, I saw that Lisa Ray interview where she was essentially saying, you can't afford her. I like to go on vacation for a month. Shut up, lady. You are not what Diamond off of Players Club no more. You're not. And quite frankly, you haven't been her for a couple decades. Huh? You haven't been her for a couple decades. Are you crazy, lady? Els Active says Ashanti became a first-time baby mom at 40. If you want me to be honest with you, ooh, goddamn. If there's a if there's a right way to do the wrong thing, Ashanti did it. Ashanti would rather be her than be Vivica. Oops. Ashanti would rather be her than be Ebony K. Williams. Yikes. Ashanti would rather be her than be Claudia Jordan. Ope. Huh? Well, she wanted a baby. She was familiar with Nelly. They've been together for a while. They broke up. What's his name? Started telling all of these dirty secrets. Irv Gotti. She went right back to Nelly and got prego. Yeah. Because it's ugly out there, ain't it? Irv Gotti was waiting out here for you with the rumors because you kept on ignoring him and you made him feel like a slime ball he kind of is. Huh? And Trell Bentley says, Ashanti spun the block, as she should. As she should. The only thing she missing now is the wedding ring. I don't know if Nelly gonna ever give it to her. But there is a right way to do the wrong thing. Huh? Only Logical says Ashanti dated Joyner Lucas. I did not know that. Huh? L's Active says that's why I retracted it. LOL. It's better than a test tube baby. I'm saying. Oh yeah, yeah. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Swifty. Thank you. Right. Indigo says that's a weak flex from Lisa Ray. Man, was she lady? What are you? 54, 55, 58, something like that. And you're talking about you like to go on vacation for a month and essentially another one of these. You average Jews better not try to talk to me because you can't afford me. Lady, you are a grandmother. I mean, literally, you are a grandmother. Stop, 57. A 57-year-old, thank you, KW Don. A 57-year-old talking like that. Y'all never grow up. I just want everybody to understand what Z is saying. This is the supposed fairer sex. You let this society speak. This is the supposed fairer sex. Vivica A. Fox dancing on Kevin Samuel's grave. Lisa Ray at damn there 60 telling you who can't afford her as a grandmother. Claudia Jordan over here talking about brothers, I guess, dark toenails. What? Huh? Thank you, Only Logical. Melissa Ford, but she's in her 40s, talking about progressive traditionalism. Corinne Steffens is gone. That lady, look, man, you done seen way too many peens in your life. That lady is off her goddamn rocker. She is off her she is off her rocker. Every time I see her, she just come off so loud and like see me, see me, see men. Oops, goddamn. Right? You know the lady that just don't know how to shut the hell up? And like every time is a time for the cameras to look at her? Huh? Indigo says, and be saying it with all the sister girl attitude of a young teen. Like, or yeah, bro, all of these women don't appreciate that they 20 and 30 years past their prime. All of them don't appreciate that you 20 and 30 years past your prime. Huh? And once again, a split Jim, thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And so now we have a bunch of 40 something, really, if you want to go to your 30s, but 40 some odd, 50 some odd, and 60-plus-year-old women, black women in particular, talking like this was their heyday in the 90s, in the early aughts. Huh? I covered this already. I am waffles, right? Let's bring that all the way around, Z. And this is why your young men aren't showing up to speed dating events. As Preach said, so they could put on their clown costume and go entertain these women and still get rejected. As whoever it was in his comments, and Abin Preach comments said, I could get rejected for free. Why would I pay for it? Huh? The young lady saying, so y'all not trying to hang with us. We just want to hang with y'all. No. Not mean, snarky, rude, condescending women. Maybe you're okay, ma'am. Maybe you are. But a lot of women, black women in specific, have left a sour taste in men's mouth. Maybe sour in that way too. Goddamn. Huh? What y'all condone, what y'all encourage, the things y'all say, the things y'all type online, the movements that y'all agree with, right? Thank you. And Mr. Shook to you says, getting rejected isn't the issue, but paying for the privilege of getting rejected is nasty work. Huh? For real though. For real. Huh? You imagine throwing a fit that the men that you wouldn't necessarily, I'm saying this to the women, black women in specific, the men that you wouldn't necessarily be chasing after anyway, or at least be interested anyway, you imagine a world where you're annoyed that they didn't show up to the speed dating event? Why don't you show up to the speed dating event so I can reject you to your face? And you pay for it? Huh? Why would you pay the 25 and the 50 and the $100 to show up to the speed dating event, buy a couple of drinks, so I can reject you to your face, and so me and all the other women could be drooling over the 3, 4, and 5 guys that all of us want? Huh? In your face, by the way, once again, to your face. Huh? Wow. And a split Jim says, pardon, fake apology, apologize. I forgot what that's for. Once again, thank you for the super chat. A split Jim, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? So I'm covering this, y'all. Like I said, I was gonna come around to this. I looking at a bunch of women, watching a bunch of women complaining about men not showing up to mixers and speed dating events and matchmaking events. For what? For what? To be let down. And as as Mr. Shukti you said, it's not about being rejected, but paying to be rejected. Especially in this environment, dear women, you proved your point to men. You told the masses of men that you didn't like them, you didn't find them attractive, you didn't like their personality, they're not likable. And even if you didn't, you don't say anything when the other women say it. I'll give Shay Sade that. Yeah, I don't see most women, even if y'all disagree, y'all just sit in the corner. And that's one thing you got to give men. If men disagree, we're not going to tacit, we're not going to sit in the corner and be like, yeah, you know that brother, right? Or not say anything. But the women don't want to be confrontational with other women so much, even when y'all disagree. Y'all don't say anything. I already said it's time for women, namely black women, to go to war with each other. I've been saying that. Because the Kim Foster types are going to continue to push the envelope. The Chrissy types are going to continue to push the envelope. The Real Talk with Yeti types are going to continue to push the envelope. And they will probably eventually couple up with a man and get married. And they're going to leave the masses of you out here looking sick. Huh? They're going to leave you out here looking sick with nothing but weirdo empowerment talk and fantasy. And you know what that amounts to at the end of the day? That two could play that game. Some of y'all already know where Z going with this. You end up being Vivica A. Fox. Rich Auntie, Rich Auntie ends up being Claudia Jordan, Vivica A. Fox. That's who Rich Auntie becomes. And let's be honest, the vast majority of you will never have that type of money. So you're just gonna be regular, smegular, extra average, below average. I'm talking about income, auntie, huh? Letting your nephew's friend come through and knock the cobwebs out. Oops. Even some of them that are underage. Ooh, goddamn, Z, you're not supposed to go there with it. Don't go there with it, Z. Huh? Extra average auntie, 47 years old, and your nephew's 23-year-old friend is coming to knock the cobwebs out. Huh? Someone tell Z he lying. Someone tell Z y'all don't know one of those instances in the hood. If we're gonna be honest, everybody talking about men being predators or preying on women, young women. Nobody talking about auntie with the 22 and 23 and 24 and 25-year-old. Auntie 47, auntie's 52. Huh? And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. We're still here, y'all. We're still here. We're still here. Right. Reckless streams. Reckless stream tax in effect. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. What a cash app? Yeah, that too. Right. Hey, that's the death of the third spaces. And Mr. Shutiyu says, we used to sit in the parks and malls and cold approach all day long with a success rate of maybe 10%. Just throwing ish at the wall to see what sticks. Good times. That's another thing that we got to talk about is the death of third spaces. For those of you that don't know, first space is home, second space is work, third spaces are like Mr. Shook to you was saying, the malls, parks, like teen clubs, um, clubs, bars, speakeasies, all of that stuff are third spaces, right? So yeah, and we're living through the death of the third spaces, right? Southern Princess, I gotta read this one now because it's hysterical. He said, hell no, we won't go mustard. Hey, I didn't hear the whole album yet, but I know exactly what song you're talking about. And that beat is hard as hell, by the way. That, yeah, yeah, I got, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Kendrick and Mustard because that's I've seen all the memes of this going Super Saiyan. Why you saying mustard? Hysterical. But yeah, and thank you for the super chat. Southern Purchase, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So I definitely want to come to y'all with this. And Nubarian says Tracy Ellis Ross equal Diana Ross effect. You imagine your mom has what 4 or 5 kids, something like that, from 3 different men. You, on the other hand, are arguably you're definitely the most known. You're the most known, most famous. I don't know if you're the richest though out of your siblings, but you're definitely the most known, the most famous, and you have no children with that body. Huh? You have no children with that body. Huh? Yeah, Tracy Ellis Ross got some big ass eyes, but especially a slightly younger Tracy Ellis Ross, she alright. How you squander and your small hat and you're black. Both of your parents had money. Both of your parents had money. You are the daughter of one of the Supremes. You are the daughter of Diana freaking Ross, right? Diana Ross. And you don't got no man? Forget that, Z. You don't have a husband? Tracy Ellis Ross should have been married for goddamn 30 years at this point. 20 some odd years at this point. She should have been married. Huh? But that speaks to personality, right? I really want to say maybe a bit insufferable. Yeah, better you. I heard that too. I heard that too. Right? Huh. So there's that. And once again, Southern Purchase, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Now I gotta go listen to the song. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. KMS says, yep. These broads going to have a civil war because us men can't tell y'all apart. I hold the good women in most contempt because y'all either allowing it, ignoring it, or couching the BS F-ish. Fight now. No, I agree. Fight now. I totally agree that. And when I say fight, because I know a lot of sisters, yeah, I know these women gonna want to fight you, and they're gonna first thing they're gonna want to do is scratch your face up, um, like physically fight y'all. I'm not saying for many of y'all to physically fight. Some of y'all might have to. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but definitely check these women when they at the table on brunch, especially if you ain't trying to munch. Y'all gotta check them at these brunches when y'all go day partying, right? When y'all sipping y'all mimosas, huh? Y'all remember there was a clip floating around the internet a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, um, and it showed a bunch of it was black women, um, chewing and munching on their food, and they were munching kind of loud. But this is the point, right? They were quiet. It's like when all y'all men acted right and y'all got nothing to complain about. And essentially, it's saying when all of your men are quote unquote acting right and there's nothing to complain about and there's no relationship problems and all they weren't talking, they just were eating. And so all that said to Z was, oh, that is what y'all do when y'all at these day parties and mixer events. And yeah, y'all trying to look cute for each other and compete with each other, obviously. But if y'all ain't talking crap about men, then it's Z, are you still there? Yes. Quiet. quiet. So I agree with KMS. Y'all encourage the BS or y'all are silent to the BS. Either way, we end up here. Huh? Either way. And so you get what you get. So y'all, if you're gonna have to have stuff to do, well, I really have stuff to do. Like I said, I'll one day we'll talk about it. That might be the first live stream I ever delete. Um, but I want to emphasize this, dear ladies. This might be the new normal if y'all don't check other women. Men have feelings too. The rejection that's not the thing. That's not the thing. The pain to be rejected and being questioned on why won't you show up to a mixer speed dating event, matchmaking event? Why won't you pay to be rejected? And then the same young lady that rejected you while you bought her drink and maybe a couple of appetizers turns around and go home and have a session with the 23-year-old coworker. Huh? And she might bring some of those leftovers, but she probably did bring some of those leftovers for the 23-year-old coworker. Huh? Y'all want men to sign up for that? Like, women appreciate the things they think are disrespectful and they feel are disrespectful about men. Y'all don't realize how much y'all disrespect the men. The women really don't appreciate how much they disrespect men. Women, y'all know for the most part the men are physically stronger than you. Do y'all appreciate how y'all talk to the men and don't have to deal with a physical consequence? Do y'all appreciate how y'all talk about the men and don't have to deal with a physical consequence? Do y'all appreciate how insulting it is to take a woman out on a date? Don't get none. She take the leftovers, bring it to her house, get rotted out by some other dude who ain't paid for nothing. Wow. Do y'all appreciate how disrespectful it is to try to pin a child on one man when you know that that child belongs to another man? Huh? I hear y'all about Tracy Ellis Ross. I hear y'all. I hear y'all. Right? The women don't really appreciate how disrespectful they are to men. And there's a cost to that. That's why your young men are not showing up to the speed dating events. Why would they show up to the speed dating events, especially that money is tight? If money is tight and I'm gonna show up to a speed dating event and I'm gonna leave empty-handed, no numbers, no IG DMs, no nothing. And let's be honest, the IG DM is a trick anyway because these women are gonna block you. Huh? And KMS says any chick who gets a doggy bag from a date needs to be blocked and never contacted again. I've eaten I have eaten plenty of doggy bags from chicks dates. See, it's crazy. I just spoke to a relative of mine who's always been good with women last week, and we spoke for a couple hours. And yeah, for those of you young men and men in large who are okay with women or you're not as okay with women, the men that are great with women are living a completely different life, right? The men who are great with women are living a completely different life, huh? And they got stories for your ass. Shout out to KMS. The men who are good with women, the brothers who got successful early, the white guys who got successful early, the tall chisel chin Chads and Tyrones, the specimens, right? The guys with the gift of gab and super swag, they're living a completely different life. The brothers that was in the streets and they were doing numbers, they lived a completely different life. You got maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 women under your belt. Maybe if you're lucky, maybe if you're lucky, 4, 5, 6, 7. These other brothers, 15, 20, 25, 30, because they've been getting it in since middle school. Uh-oh, quiet as kept. They were racking numbers in high school. College was Candyland. After college, because they hit their stride financially early, they were racking numbers. They didn't get married until their mid and late 30s because they were having too much fun. I know these guys. I never had numbers like them. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, but Jesus Christ. And they got stories for your ass. You low key sit in awe. Like, you did what with who, where? You did it with her there? Hey, keep on thinking the movies are lying. The movies ain't lying, y'all. The movies are not lying, y'all. And low key, you know who will tell you? Toya, tell me I'm lying. The women will tell you. The friends of the women who did it will tell you. And you know such and such did such and such with such and such here? Huh? Man, we already know about how women put rules on the men that they're about, if not mostly unattracted to, and how the men they are attracted to get to do whatever, whatever, however, whenever. Huh? Whenever, however. Meanwhile, you're the one who got to jump through hoops and prove yourself after she's done with Chisel Chin Chad. See, after Chisel Chin Chad has had his way with her when she was 25 and 27 and 28 and 32, maybe, when she meets you at 38 and 45 and whatever the hell, oh, there's a million rules on you, and that biological clock is about to ring right off the hook. So now you have to prove yourself and get the ring and get married and buy a house and buy expensive car and offer her to divorce you within 5 to 8 to 10 to 12 years anyway. No, I agree with that. And Els Active says, I don't know, Z. I used to rack up numbers, but I don't think any man is immune to the BS. I'm not saying these men are immune to the BS. I never said that. I'm not saying they're immune to the BS. Pregnancy scares and all, right? Might have caught the itchy scratchy. I'm not saying they're immune. That 28 days later, huh? No, you're definitely right about that. I'm not saying they're immune. I'm saying the experiences are just vastly different. It's not even close. Pregnancy scares, itchy scratchy, women putting you in compromising positions because she told you she didn't have a man, but she really do. Huh? Women will put you in a position for you and her to get deleted because she telling you that her and her man are broken up or they're not together anymore or they're going to divorce proceedings and she's lying to you. I know a number of men, white and black and Latino, who have been in that position. Definitely black and Latino. But even the white guys. And Nubarian says Tracy Ellis Ross was on an MTV show with Mos Def. She has no excuse. Yeah, we know. We know. Right? No one wants to speak about the fact that the women are insufferable. No one wants to speak about the fact that many of them who are successful find themselves in this position because ain't nobody can do nothing with them. No one can do anything with them. What can Vivica A. Fox heyday? Bad chocolate dip baby doll Vivica A. Fox. What can you do with her? She still thinks she's that now. Big face Vivica, goddamn, Corey Holcomb. But slim, baby doll face ass Vivica A. Fox, you couldn't do nothing with her in the late 90s, early 2000s. What could you do with her? Nothing. Independence Day, Vivica A. Fox, you couldn't do nothing with her. Players Club, Lisa Ray, you couldn't do anything with her. What's the name of the sister from Friday? Next Friday? Super bad. Maya in the late 90s, early 2000s. My love is like, whoa, Maya. What could you do? You can't do nothing. You couldn't do nothing with her. What you gonna do with her? Huh? At that time, these were the baddest of the bad. Nia Long. Huh? Boys in the Hood, Nia Long. Not even Boys in the Hood. Forget Boys in the Hood, Nia Long. Um, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Nia Long. What can you do with Prince of Bel Air, Nia Long? Huh? What can you do with Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Nia Long? Nothing. Huh? There's a number of these women that were super bad, just dumb fine. Now look at them. 20 plus years later, 30 years later. Huh? And remember, we didn't even mention the white women yet. We still only talking about the black women. I always say this. The black women list is long as hell. If you look at don't get it twisted. A number of these white women done fumbled the bag too. If we start listing the white women from the 90s and the early aughts who fumbled the bag, the the list is gonna fall off the table. Say that. Els Active says Lori Harvey is heading down that same road because no one wants to be honest with her. All the other women gassing her up. She's too young to marry Michael B. Jordan. Why he into her anyway? Let that girl live. Let her enjoy her life. All right, we will. Huh? See, for all those other women, we didn't have high-speed internet. We didn't have social media like that yet. We didn't have many of us didn't. We didn't have the ability to screenshot your comments and all of that. Now with internet age, oh yeah, we're gonna be able to show you in 10 and 15 and 20 years. Oh yeah, isn't this the same Lori Harvey that y'all were telling us? Let her live, and while we pressing her to be married to Michael B. Jordan, look at her. Uh-oh. AJ Johnson house party. Jesus Christ. She was still even looking pretty good on Baby Boy. She was alright in Baby Boy. Huh? And Lithium says Jennifer Aniston was an airhead, and it irritated Brad Pitt allegedly, right? Trell said Lori Harvey is a couple of months away from who? Huh? Future told you tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. That's what Future told you. And Sierra's super lucky. Sierra is dumb, retarded, super lucky that there's a Russell Wilson, because she was going to be out here after her and Future broke up. She was going to be out here on the carousel, and within another 5, 6 years, we would be like, Sierra, who? Oh my God, she's lucky there's a Russell Wilson. Huh? So on that note, y'all, look, let's see, pause right here. Once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button to the replay squad. Um, yeah, these mixers, dear ladies, maybe there wouldn't be so many mixers. I get it. We live in this, and I should have said this earlier too. We live in this modern environment. Our work schedule is trash. Many of us have to super commute. It's a lot of things going on. Money is tight. Yeah, there's a lot of things. Social media and okay, ladies, I'll give you that the Me Too movement that scared y'all because every guy's a Weinstein now. Jesus Christ. Every guy's a Cosby now. Oh my God. Right? But y'all didn't make it no better. Y'all actually doubled down on the BS. Huh? Upstar says Sierra is probably the reason all these girls think they have unlimited chances. She's one of the reasons. Because they tell you, oh, I'm looking for my Russell Wilson. Ma'am, you do not look like Sierra. Sierra's gorgeous. If we're just gonna call a thing a thing, Sierra's gorgeous. And she only came to Future. Excuse me. She only came to Russell Wilson with one kid, Future's kid. On top of that, y'all got a kid from some rando aspiring D boy, and y'all don't look like Sierra, huh? But y'all want Sierra outcome. Okay, so, huh? And Sierra's an entertainer herself. So even if Sierra didn't end up with a Russell Wilson, as I said before, if she was humble enough, she could have ended up with one of these behind the scenes dudes that earned two, three, $400,000 a year, $500,000 a year. He helped set up the stages or whatever. We don't know who he is, but the entertainers know who he is. She could have ended up with one of those too. Many of you, y'all don't got none of that. But you want Sierra outcomes. Well, so yeah, y'all. Look, I will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Um, these are the speed dating events, everyone. These speed dating events, matchmaking events, mixer events. Men are not showing up. Young men are not showing up because why would they? That's the question for all the ladies. Why would they? Are you challenging your friends, your homegirls, your girlfriends about their misandrous view of men? If you're not, then you just answered why the men are not showing up. If you're not challenging their insane concepts of hypergamy, talking about your girlfriends, your homegirls, the ones that's trying to munch on you, goddamn Z. Huh? If you're not challenging these things, then you are, whether you realize it or not, you are admitting that there's no reason for these men to show up at these matchmaking and dating events. And that will have a consequence on you, ladies. As we said, just about a quarter of women over the age of 60 are on antidepressants. 20% of women between the ages of 40 and 59 are on antidepressants. Single and childless Black women and Latina women have the least amount of wealth in America. 8 cents on the white man's dollar for Black women, 14 cents on the white man's dollar for Latinas. Huh? Men looking to date has gone down 50% since 2019. 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single and childless by 2040. Right? And Lion says, I go on dating events just to check the temperature. I get it. I get it. We need somebody doing reconnaissance anyway. Right? Huh. So, and Lion says that ish is 30 degrees, hysterical. So on that note, y'all know Z got things to do. We got things to do. We got to play catch up now. So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, go touch grass. Don't be chronically online like Z. Yeah. And so y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. And Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Have a great day.